And today I want to tell you 3 reasons why you need to tell stories on social media. And today I want to talk about the reason why you need to tell stories on social media. Number 1, forming deeper connection. Storytelling is all about taking people on a journey to get to know you better. And if you put this in a very simple scenario where everyone can relate to, is a new job. Let's say you got a new job. It's your first day at the new office. Your coworkers might only know your name, they might only know your job title. And in order to get to know someone, it's really by sharing a story. Because genuine connections are formed through storytelling. Sharing your background, sharing stories about your family, talking about your pets, or even your preference when it comes to cooking can really be the foundation to finding common interest, but also help you to connect with someone. In general, we always connect better with people if they have the same interest and if they're into the same things as we are. So for instance, if someone is telling me they have cats, I'm like, oh my God, I have cats. And then we connect over the fact that we have cats. We share 1,000 pictures of our cats because my phone only has cat pictures, and tell each other funny cat stories. And that instantly makes you like this person more. But often creators overthink, they overcomplicate storytelling, thinking it's a complex and strategic process. But at the end of the day, it's just really embracing your rawness and your authenticity. Just be yourself. Just talk about the stories that shaped you. Talk about the stories that made you the person you are today. Talk about why you started your business journey, or talk about your new job, or talk about the struggles you're having a job. There's tons of stories that we experience on a daily basis. And these genuine narratives just really offer glimpses into our lives, and it makes it much easier for people to connect with you. And of course, it's always easier said than done to say, why don't you just open up on social media and talk about yourself? And personally, I have this struggle as well. For me, I have a hard time opening up on social media and really talking about myself, because at the end of the day, I usually don't talk about myself. I rather listen to people and help other people than putting myself in this, in the spotlight, I want to say. So here and there, I still struggle just with opening up, talking about myself, talking about my life, and taking people on my journey. Sometimes I ask myself, who would be interested in the love for the ocean that I have? Because I love surfing, and I love my 4 cats, and of course, I love my husband and our bunnies and all the animals that we have, the tarantulas, and the way I grew up in Germany. Like, I have thousands of stories to tell, but I struggle myself to infuse that into my daily aspects. So it's not easy, but you just have to open up. I recommend showing one story, a glimpse of yourself in every video that you upload. And also, a side note, people care about stories, and through those stories, we really build connection because we share our common interests. I mean, think about yourself. Who do you connect with the best at your workplace or when you meet a stranger? It's not the person who's the total opposite to you, but it's someone who has the same interests as you. Also, when you think about in general, think about life. Who made an impact in your life and why? And more often than not, it's a story or a piece of information they shared with you that resonated so deeply, that evoked an emotion that made a lasting impact. So a person that you talked 10, 15 years ago, you might not remember the name, but you remember them because they shared a story with you that impacted you so much that you just can't forget about them. And you want to aim for the same when you talk online, when you build your brand online. You want to make those lasting impressions. You want to share stories that really connect with your viewers. And this will also create a natural connection with the audience. So for instance, and by the way, little Scrabble is here entertaining me while I film this video. But for example, myself, when I talk a lot about the surfer mentality and that every business owner should... Come here, Scrabble. Come here. Oh, little Scrabble. And when I talk about myself, I talk a lot about surfer mentality, and I think that every business owner should have the surfer mentality. Because surfing, yes, it's a sport, but it's, I don't know, I would say 40% physical and 60% mental. I cannot tell you how many times I was sitting at the beach, took some wave, get pounded real hard by the wave, and then paddle back to the beach. I was sitting there and I just had the urge to cry because it felt like I cannot get a single wave. And in those moments, it's just really essential to regroup and remember that everything has ups and downs. You might not get this wave, but you might get the next wave. And the same goes in business. There's up and downs. You might get this client, you might get the deal, or the deal might fall through. So when you serve, you really feel really high highs, but you also feel the really low lows. And the key really is to understand that after every low, there is a high again. So for me, surfing is like running a business. It really involves navigating highs and lows. So it's really understanding to keep going because there will be another wave. Also, storytelling is essential because it separates you from your competition. And I heard this a lot. People always ask like, oh gosh, you're another social media person that teaches people about social media and to grow online. And yes, I do. And there's other people who do the same. But again, by your own experience, by storytelling, by just being yourself, you can separate yourself from the competition. So you should use storytelling as your distinctive edge in a saturated market. In a landscape filled with individuals having similar ideas or having similar products, it's easy to think that you're just one in a million, that you're just among many others and they're pretty much all the same. Well, that's not true, because as cheesy this might sound, but we're all our own person. And the key here really lies in your mindset. So instead of getting disencouraged that other people might offer social media management services, that other people might help small business owners, you should rather see this as an opportunity to shine. So you should use your experience, you should use your storytelling to separate yourself from the competition and form a genuine connection with your audience. Because trust me, if you have the same product as someone else, and there's a client who has to decide between you and someone else, but the client has similar interests with you, has the same values, they're more likely to go with you than your competitor. And it all happened to us before. Think about the last time you met a group of strangers. And let's say you all start talking to each other and you are a die-hard Rams fan. Like, go Rams! Unfortunately, they did not make it to the Super Bowl this year, but again, go Rams! And you have another one who also liked the Rams, or is someone else who in general likes football. You and that other person will connect way faster than the rest of the group who are not interested in football. And this common interest really lays a foundation to a much stronger connection compared to the rest of the people, despite just having met them. So keep in mind, if you share stories about yourself, how much you love the Rams, like for me, I love soccer, I love football, I love hockey. I grew up having season tickets with my dad for over 10 years. So that's just something I like. I like nature, I like animals. As you can see, 4 cats and a bunny. Tarantula and scorpions, we have it all here at home. But really, storytelling helps you to forge those deeper connections. And it also means standing out in the sea, differentiating yourself and just creating this distinctive personal brand. And sometimes common interests are just the make or break point, whether you get hired by a client, whether you get hired by a business, because it's really just your personality that shines through. That's why you should never ever underestimate the power of storytelling to position yourself in a very unique way. Last but not least, the third point why you should rely on storytelling is to really build social proof. When you use storytelling in your social media, in your business, when talking to clients, storytelling at the end of the day is selling without selling. Integrate client testimonials seamlessly into your storytelling. So rather than just presenting a testimonial as a standalone piece from one of your clients, I recommend that you rather take this piece and tie it into the narrative when talking about your product or your services. Including reviews and testimonials in your storytelling not only positions yourself as someone that has authority in your niche, but also subconsciously signals that you have established a client base. Let's say when you look at Amazon reviews, and you want to make a product decision, whether you want to buy it or not, and you read all the 5-star, 4-star review, it instills some sort of confidence in a product because other people said it's great. And it really helps to build a trust, making you more likely to purchase the product. And that's exactly the same that you want to do. Subconsciously, you want to drop sentences like, I work with other clients, or my client said this, or when I worked on this project with my client, because then it tells people that you have clients, you have previous experience working with clients. Also, when we talk about client testimonials really build trust. And we all know that trust is the rock solid foundation for any meaningful relationship when it comes to social media. And storytelling is really the secret sauce that builds trust. And especially nowadays, in the world of social media, where authenticity is everything, storytelling becomes a powerful way to sell without the need of those outdated, pushy sales tactics. Because what you should be thriving for is creating lasting value. And I hope these tips really helped you to understand why you need storytelling in your business and why you should really lean into storytelling. And that also led us yet again to another episode of the Content Marketing Cheat Sheet podcast. I'm so glad you tuned in today. And also don't forget that yes, the world is your oyster, but everything is disgusting. Until then, goodbye, or how we say in Germany, auf Wiedersehen.